Hello, welcome back to another episode of Sunday Morning Train Ride. This time with number 16. I welcome you in Köln, hot pun off today in snowy Köln, and we are going to take a IC train. Is it this one over there? I have no idea. Probably is, isn't it? So let's walk towards it and let's see where it goes. I guess it says it goes nowhere at the moment, because that's how it runs. Yep. I'm disoriented. Where's the cathedral is there. Yeah, it's this one we are going to take. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. There is another S-Bahn. There is S-Bahn coming in to Köln. Always a nice sight. I doubt it is that one, but I never know. So this is just a beautiful piece. Gorgeous. So today a little bit late than usual, but I guess better later than never. I did do quite a lot of work last night for this episode, actually. Something's coming, or maybe not. Well, maybe not. I did do quite a lot of work, so for this episode yesterday. So it's a little bit different kind of episode. It's gonna be a long one, and there is a reason why I'm on a high speed line today. But there is a train coming in. No, there's not. No, there's not. It's a building. But there is. Oh no, it's not. So I might have seen it correctly. So we look at that beautiful S-Bahn, Rhine Road S-Bahn coming in. Before we get on the train. So yeah, a little bit different kind of episode today. I mean, not different, but longer. It might be a longer episode, so today we might have to actually change the trains at some point. And there is a reason why I'm going to take the IC today, because I'm going to talk about high speed a little bit in Europe and stuff. I should say that I'm not never ever gonna bring you any kind of news or any kind of informative stuff. So everything will be light-hearted and yeah, just a little bit of my thoughts about the stuff, about the railways, and well, traveling in general stuff. So I found one article and I did reference it quite a lot, quite heavily, and I'm going to do that throughout the episode. So I hope you have cup of coffee and some kind of food, basically, and join with me on this little journey towards Aachen, and who knows, maybe even back towards Köln, but not in Köln, not to Köln. We'll see how it goes. It is going to be a rather long one, but I may manage to fit that in somewhere in 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Who knows? Who knows? So I wish to thank you for joining with me, and let's see what today's episode will bring. We are about to get on a train. We are about to get on a train. We are about to get on a train. If I can switch things on. Well, hello, coast driver. 5. Voila. I wish it will be done so that I don't have to do these things. Hey, Instapoppers. Let's see. It's not a very nice place to say, is it? Let's find somewhere else to say hello. Ooh, nice. I want to. It's quite crowded this morning, this train. It is Brussels bound, so yeah, but it's still quite crowded. Ooh, hello. I think I should not come to stay here, but I can, so I am coming to stay here. Not gonna go to the buffet. Already have had my snack today, and currently have a coffee, so got it from Köln-Aachen. So yeah, I just get stuck in how Trans-Europe Express could be making a comeback. Could they? Really? I mean, really? Once upon a time, advanced diesel and multi-voltage trains slashed journey times by eliminating lengthy stops at international borders to check passports and change locomotives and crews. Thing is, in Europe, there are no borders anymore, making train journeys more comfortable and accessible as it has ever been. Premium fares included first-class comfort, at-sea gourmet meals and air-conditioned open saloons with large windows, allowing passengers to relax and enjoy the views as they sped through the Rhine-Gorge or cross the Alps to Milan. This in today's world will definitely not be very good financially, as it would be something that only few privileged people could afford. There is no doubt that there are some people who would like that to return, the days when traveling was affordable only for elite. In today's world, it would not make much sense and would struggle to turn the profit. Not to mention that our values as human beings and European citizens have changed with our priorities. Fast forward to the 2020s and the short-haul air travel that were business travels and city breakers away from trains 5 decades ago is increasingly viewed as unfashionable and undesirable. Even before the pandemic, not for many it has occurred that this trend has only been around the center of the continent, where the distances are short and there is no sea in between. While to me, as I love aviation and flying, it is a bit of a sad trend to see. I can understand it, and I do agree that in some areas there is too much air traffic that could be redirected towards the rails. That will not make aviation industry poorer, as from northern countries, for example, we will always prefer to fly to the Central Europe and take it from there either by road or boarding on a train. So I do not think that flying is out of fashion. In respect of flying from the Düsseldorf to Frankfurt, yes, it is more comfortable and better to take train, but not in the sense of flying from Stockholm to Tallinn or Oslo to Paris. Since 1990s, France's world famous train La Carte Vitesse have spread far beyond their home country's borders, even to Africa, as new lines have allowed TGVs radiating from Paris to reach Brussels, Köln, Frankfurt am Main, and so on. Also, German ICE trains have done the same, reaching to destinations such as Amsterdam, Brussels, Paris, from Frankfurt and Munich, for example. Like this journey that goes all the way to Brussels, what we are on right now. Not to mention Eurostar, of course. Although these superb trains have revolutionized journeys on specific routes they run on, international rail travel in Europe remains a disjointed affair, hampered by a lack of coordination between operators on timetables, ticketing and marketing. Even though I must admit, when I first time was in Düsseldorf train station, I was amazed where you can take a train. I knew there were international trains operating in Europe, just as there always has been in all over Europe and in some instances also in Eurasia. I was amazed to see how often they run. From where I am from, in Estonia, that kind of connectivity with another nearby countries remain distant dream and memory for older generations, let alone being able to take a train to Warsaw, Berlin, etc. Having said that, there used to be much more in Europe than there is today. A combination of inertia, increasing costs, protectionism, and the exponential growth in short-haul flights over the past 20 years meant that in 2018, 149 of the 365 cross-border rail links that once existed were not being exploited. Despite huge efforts to attract passengers out of their cars in 2018, rail accounted for less than 8% of all passenger travel in European Union member states. Pretty small amount, but that is in all member states combined. That means people in Baltic states simply laughed at it because there is no infrastructure that could allow people to make the switch. If you look towards the Central Europe, then you get a very different picture. So we can't look at the all European Union member states because conditions in Lithuania and Netherlands are very different, making it impossible to ever make a switch and keeping aviation as the most important way of travel and maritime with the road for transport. In September 2020, German Transport Minister Andreas Scheuer raised eyebrows across the continent by suggesting that the network of international routes that blossomed in the 1960s and 70s could form a template of new TEE 2.0 services from 2025. It is important to emphasize that it must be used as a template and not as something we should create, because in today's world this would not work, mainly because it would be for privileged people and not for everyone. To be able to compete, it must be for everyone. While I do believe that the countries can and should identify the inadequate rail services, as there are too many to count in Europe, I do not think that chaining the networks together will be possible. I might be wrong. Those aspirations tally with a pledge signed by 25 EU transport ministers in June 2020 to boost market competitiveness by rail journeys of up to 500 miles. Germany's Trans-European Express 2.0 proposal is an extension of its €100 billion Deutschlandtakt program, announced in 2019, which aims to provide fast and frequent clock-face intercity rail services between all German towns and cities over a certain size by 2030, which definitely makes Germany a very good place to live by middle of the century. All of this will make use of its existing high-speed infrastructure, hubs and stations in the cities to provide a better coordinated network of international trains. We also can't forget about the existing Nightjet, which is run by ÖBB, Austrian National Rail Company. They do a very good job as well by offering a very good service for affordable price and connection that is unique. I mean, you do not have to fly in the morning, but instead can arrive to the destination fresh and refreshed. Perfect way, in my opinion. Projects now under construction or planned over the next 20 years will deliver more faster and hopefully reliable links between neighboring countries by mid-century. But where next? Will we ever see a train that connects us with Europe in Baltic states? I do remain skeptical, especially after the ongoing rail Baltic fiasco. Nevertheless, it is a step towards a network of high-speed trains that in many areas could and will replace short-haul flights between major cities in Europe. Even if European Union will not survive next 10 years, that is vital. At least we have infrastructure and possibilities to deal with it then, and it also would help to make sure that we can integrate Europe even more than it is integrated today. According to the climate report, a flight from Paris to Berlin creates at least 6 times the carbon dioxide emissions of a similar train journey. Flights of less than 1,000 kilometers between and within European countries are estimated to create 28 million metric tons of CO2 every year. Importantly, 17 of the 20 busiest air routes in Europe are covering less than 700 kilometers. Those are the routes that we have to change. That is the possibility and only option for us to continue our existence by replacing those flights with the high-speed rail network. In some respects, it does work today, but sadly the ticket fares are still too high to compete with the low-cost airliners. New trains capable of working right across mainland Europe will be required to operate the expanded network. This could be a development of Germany's ICE fleet, which will be greatly expanded over the next decade as part of the Deutschlandtakt plan. A revitalized network of overnight trains has been also proposed. The topic I already briefly touched by voicing my own opinions about, initially based on Austrian Railway's highly successful Nightjet routes, a journey I personally am really looking forward to take once the pandemic has calmed down and I feel financially safe again. I would like to do it this year, but I doubt it can be done, but I do have a plan B. Anyway, back to the topic. In the long term, new sleeper car trains could be produced to serve new routes, including Stockholm to Amsterdam, Vienna, Frankfurt am Main, and so on. Advanced planning is underway for a new Stockholm to Hamburg, Berlin, overnight train to start later this year, to be joined by Stockholm to Brussels via Copenhagen route from August 2022. So direction in that regard is way on the right path already today in the regards of comfortable way of travel in form of overnight trains. Unlike the old Trans-European Express network, the latest German proposals also look to east. As an Eastern European, I take it with a great deal of salt and will not be very hopeful when it comes to former Warsaw Pact countries. Mainly, in my opinion, it will not go past Czech Republic and Poland. I also doubt that Poland will be interested in dragging Baltic states in that network. If you look at the political developments in those countries and the worsening political climate, let's just say this way. Baltics have been criticizing Poland quite heavily in last 5 years, including the freedom of media, freedom of speech, and the latest abortion law in there. Not to mention, of course, criticizing arresting opposition members of the opposition by Polish authorities. For this, though, let's cross off the Baltic states from that discussion. Plus, there are many more issues that mainly is linked with ill-fated Rail Baltic project that I did briefly touch already and focus on Central Europe, including Poland and Czech Republic, former Iron Curtain countries that actually are located in Central Europe and were never part of the USSR. Poland and Czech Republic are already engaged in detailed planning work for new lines that could dramatically improve journey times both domestically and with their neighbors. Those two countries already have infrastructure also in place to do so, and in Poland's case, the size of its economy definitely helps. In March 2020, Germany and Czech Republic reached an agreement to build a new high-speed line between Dresden and Prague. That should reduce the Berlin to Prague journey from 4.5 hours to 2 hours, making it highly profitable and good investment by saving valuable 2.5 hours that allows potential passengers to use that time in a productive and useful way, not to mention making the train journey more favorable than the short flight. My only concern with that will be the price of the ticket though. Will it be cheaper than the last minute booking for a flight? That remains to be seen, and I kind of think that last minute booking for a flight will stay as it is, cheaper. Might be wrong again. The Czech Republic is also planning new high-speed railways from Prague to Brno and Ostrava. The latter part of a proposed international route to Wrocław in Poland. In parallel, Poland's strategy for increasing rail travel includes new 350 km per hour lines linking Warsaw with Wrocław and Poznan. The latter on the main east-west international route linking Amsterdam and Berlin with Warsaw, and why not to even Moscow in Russia, especially as Russia already has one high-speed line, even though it is between St. Petersburg and Moscow, nowhere near Belarus, from where this new high-speed line would have to come across. That automatically would also link Minsk with Moscow, St. Petersburg and Europe. The existing central main line between Warsaw, Katowice and Krakow is also being upgraded to increase maximum speeds to 250 km per hour by 2023, and proposals exist for international extensions southward to Prague and Bratislava. These longer routes are a significant change of direction for European high-speed rail, by the way. which has traditionally focused on competing with airlines on journeys of 3 hours or less. So with already existing routes that operate today, with a growing need to make travel ever more accessible, and with very big dreams, it will be interesting to see if we ever can catch those goals that are set. But there is more than one reason to be positive, as we already are moving towards better tomorrow in that regard. Suddenly even the most impressive ideas do not feel like they are out of reach, even realpolitik, once the countries can work together. Meanwhile though, let's embrace what we have, what we are about to have, and dream. People like me dream about some of the journeys you can take around Europe that are part of everyday lives of so many Europeans today, like high speed, nature, and connectivity. I did reference Ben Jones throughout this. We did publish it on CNN. I wish to thank him for giving me a lot of food for thought, dream, and possibility to drop my own 2 cents with the best of intentions. I am not intending to take credit nor share information through this, only giving my thoughts about the matter. No matter what, Trans-European Express has many supporters in general public who would wish that to return, without many of them noticing that it actually already has returned in a form of high-speed travel and night chat. One day, me too will be there to embrace the luxurious way to take a journey on a night jet. Another one would be Caledonian Sleeper. I have no doubts in my mind that actually the future has already arrived in a way of teaching the plane for a train, but in some areas that will never happen, mainly in my opinion between Nordic countries and Europe, with the exception of Denmark and Sweden. For example, purely hypothetically speaking, if the high-speed line between Helsinki and Vilnius existed, I would still prefer to fly. I will probably take it once in a lifetime just to say I've done it, been on it, but I prefer a short, comfortable flight for a train. Between London and Edinburgh, though, it will be completely opposite matter. I will take the train instead of a flight. Same reason. Taking a train would be more comfortable in that regard. And that's my 2 cents. What there is for me to say. And yeah, regarding of nature, it really is one of those dreams for me to take one actually, and but I thought it can be done this year, maybe next year. So one of those distant dreams that I would like to eventually cross off, if ever so possible. So I managed to get to the end in the episode. That's always so nice. And it's always great to have some pictures. So let's get some pictures. We have issue of coastering going on. It's operating without the driver. Hey there. How's the situation at the back? Oh, no, it's at the back. All right. All right. So as we are without the driver, we are, well, let's not focus on it. Instead, let's take Where can I? So if you have, let's take a walk. If you have any kind of vlogs, feel free to let me know. You know, here's where we are stopping. And next up, it also stops in Liège, sorry, and Brussels North before arriving to Brussels Midi. Alright. I do love this train. I do love the interior of this train. It's actually so sad that they decided to refurbish the put the new color in. I do like this style, let's say this way, on old IC3M series. And I'm glad that in game we have a difference, because see, even here it's different a little bit, because it's variety, isn't it? You know, to have different interiors. Excellent. So yeah, this is how it looks. It is beautiful. This is where the stuff is, I believe. What? Can I sit in a corner? Alright. That's sad. That I cannot sit in the corner. Yeah, I did forget the hard up. I apologize for that if it did bother you. So I will. I cannot say I won't do that again, but I just did forget it up. So I truly am apologizing in that matter. Hopefully it didn't bother you too much. So if you have any food for thought, or any kind of anything you wish to add to all of that, feel free to let me know and interact with me. Also, what do you think about night jet trains? Can put Night Riviera in as well, and Caledonian Sleeper. I really would like to, I really hope that one day we get Austrian Railjet and those night jet trains in Trains in World 2 as well, if ever possible. Like, they could already kind of had actually the Night Riviera that stops in Reading anyway. It would be pretty cool in my opinion. Though what kind of a gameplay they would offer? They would offer one service, so not much of gameplay, but it's one of those cool factors. Cool stuff, yeah. That would be awesome. Great and beautiful to see. Excellent. I didn't do any other preparation for today's episode, so now I'm pretty much just processing my thoughts. With I don't know with how to say it, because I was working on the last night for up until 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And when I was looking at, oh, their Sunday morning train ride is like going to be Sunday afternoon train ride tomorrow. I have a feeling, and it is basically Sunday evening train ride in the morning setting. So better late than never. Sometimes it goes a bit later, but I didn't thought that it's best to miss it, so I didn't want to miss the one episode. So yeah, it's a little bit later, but it's okay. So, and I thought that today's topic will be really violent if I'm on a German route. And as I was talking about high speed, then of course we have the high speed stuff right here in the form of two great high speed trains actually. So as we are zooming into Aachen, I thank you very much for joining with me, and feel free to interact with me, ask questions, and generally, if you have any topic you would like me to talk about, or why not to write about, then let me know, and I will see what will happen. And as after all, this series we are doing together, and it's the best way to. This series is the best time and best way to interact with me, since gameplay I sometimes do many episodes at once and put them up at once and release them as I go on. So so this is more like relaxing environment and nice thing to just talk about, discuss things and talk about whatever, really. While doing my best to keep it simple and easy to digest and lighthearted. Some things I did put in today's episode, I feel like maybe not the best idea, but I hope it still was lighthearted too, and why not even entertaining. As you do not have to watch these Sunday morning train ride episodes, it's for listening, because I'm talking and stuff here, expressing my opinions and things. Yay! Where's the closest door? I think closest door is here. Yes, it is. So, whoi! Freight train. By the way, welcome to Aachen. By the way, I did take the freight journey a couple of days ago on this route. I did spat. I haven't touched the freight train so long that I thought, well, I didn't think that the braking distance is a bit, so I misjudged basically, and I did spat in Köln depot. Well, it happens. Or Köln freighter. I know in English it is Cologne, but I say Köln because I like the Köln more than Cologne. Sorry, that's me. Anyway, thank you very much for joining with me. My name is Keith, and until next Sunday morning train ride episode, I wish you a nice week ahead, and big dreams, and dream big, and all the other fun stuff. Stay safe, stay healthy, and most important of all, don't catch any illness. Stay healthy. Take care of your health. Consume lots of fruits and other good stuff as well. Until next time, take care. For me, it was a pleasure today.